Wow, there are certain things that you can count on, and one of them is Andy Reid when it comes to food.
Yeah,
I love this guy because I love eating.
They've been in the Super Bowl so much now. They're there every year. So every year, wherever they go, you got to ask Andy about the cuisine. And now they're going to be in New Orleans this year. And Andy seems to be ready to go for this trip in terms of the food at night.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, there is one. Emeralds. Not that I turned any of them down, but when I was with the Eagles, the chef there, the head chef, tremendous chef, he, he was a huge Eagles fan. So he invited me over, and he said, I'm going to start at the ocean and finish in the mountains. He put me in the kitchen, and he said, have at it. So he says, I'll stop when you're full. So 4 hours later, we were done.
You know he's going to poison the food this weekend?
I probably won't go there.
You got to give him credit right there. That was
4
yeah,
hours
he can't go there.
later.
He's an Eagles fan. The guy will poison him.
Guy said he said he went a big Eagle fan, the head chef at the place.
Can't go there.
Can't have it. Not at all. Here's Patrick Mahomes, of course. He's one of these guys. He didn't enjoy winning last year. When they won last year, it was immediately focused on winning again next year. Very serious, Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know if it was just this one in particular. It's just when you're on that stage and you're celebrating, you start thinking about the guys that are coming back. You think about how young that football team was last year, and you knew that we had a chance to be in this position. And
serious.
Even though you're winning, you're enjoying that moment. You enjoy it, but at the same time, you have a bigger picture of your entire career. And I want to have as many chances as I can to be in the Super Bowl. And it's cool to have guys like Chris and Trav that I've kind of spent my entire career with and won all these games with. And there's a few others with James, Winchester, and Harrison. And I'm probably forgetting someone here or there, but it's cool to have these guys. We built such a great friendship and almost become a family. And I think that's really cool.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'll
tell you this.
sick and tired of this.
I've thought about this
you have
a
no
lot.
idea.
I'll make a trade. If I'll root for them to win if you could promise me they won't be back again, like ever. Like if Mahomes wins this year and they're not in the Super Bowl anymore, like for the next 5, 10 years, whenever Mahomes there.
But how do you make that bet? Because you can't.
I know. I would, but if you could tell me they're not going to be there again, let them win. I would say let them win. I don't want them there anymore. Just please end it. I can't do it every year anymore with this guy.
What's incredible? Like they win 2 straight, going for 3. No one's ever done it. They do it, and then what? Go for 4 in a row? Who's to say they can't do that? I'm
sure they will.
Let's just face facts. None of these teams, including the Bills and Ravens, can beat them. They just don't beat them. That's it. Like the Bills beat the Ravens. The Ravens lost to the Chiefs. The Bills lose to the Chiefs. The Bills always lose to the Chiefs. I hate to say it, but I've had enough of watching the Bills lose to the Chiefs, to be honest with you. And I rooted for the Bills on my horse. I was riding that Bills horse all the way. And they blew it again. And they had it. And I'm sick and tired of it. So I wish it was 2 different teams entirely in the AFC title game. And I wish it was 2 different teams entirely in the Super Bowl. Anything but. But I've already said that this year. I said, anything but the Eagles and Chiefs. And sure enough, it's Eagles and Chiefs. So I'm more interested really in the restaurants that I choose from Sunday to Friday. It's really more important. At the end of the day, I love eating, and I am a slob, and I can eat, and I can drink. And I mean to tell you, I can go toe-to-toe with anybody, and I have no interest in this football game. So to me, let's party. Where are we eating? That's all that matters every day. Doing great shows for SportsGrid, coast to coast. And where am I eating?
Fried oysters, baby. That's where it's at. Got to have the fried oysters. So get yourself in the mix with those and the gator. Got to have the Gator as well while you're down there. All right, I got some numbers for you when we come back. Most bet props so far, most bet touchdowns so far, and a few other things, and then we'll get into Troy and some other stuff as well. So we still have all that.
I am going to the sports book. I am going to the Harrah's on the Water, the casino. I am going to good restaurants.
All right, most bet player props so far. We have a whole nother week to go, but people are already going to the window with Dallas Goedert over 51.5. Xavier Worthy over 5.5 rushing yards. They're looking for a carry for Xavier Worthy. Barkley over 115.5. Mahomes longest rush over 11.5, and Mahomes over 5.5 rushing attempts. The early player prop, most bet player props.
So Mahomes longest, what was it? Rush over 11.5 yards. I think that'll happen. And over 5.5 rushing attempts. I think he'll run the ball 6 times. I've seen him in the Super Bowl run for his life against Tampa. I'd love to see that again. I've never seen him give Xavier Worthy the ball to run. So it'd be reverse. Do they do a reverse with him?
They did it. They did it twice in the Texan game and twice in the Bill game. So he had 2 carries in each game. So got the yardage in the Bill game, didn't get it in the Texan game.
So if he runs over 5.5 yards, you're golden if the play works. And then Goddard, I think Goddard's money, they're going to throw to Goddard a bunch of times in this football game. That's all there is to it. Yeah. So I think he can go over that number.
I agree on that one as well. As far as the touchdowns, Barkley, Hurts, Mahomes, Kelsey, and Goddard, most bet touchdowns so far. Saquon, the most bet first touchdown in the game at 4-1. And I'll bring this more up with you next week when I do my touchdown picks at the end of the week before the game. But the Chiefs have obviously been in a lot of Super Bowls. There's always one oddball Chief touchdown scorer in all these games. You look at all the last few years, there's someone way down the board who scores for Kansas City. So we are going to try to find that needle in a haystack next week when we do the touchdown picks. We will try to get our obscure Chief touchdown scorer.
Well, the guy that stands out to me the most is Hurts, because it's like automatic the guy scores a touchdown in almost every game they play. Like, it's just automatic. I mean, that number at minus 105 right now, like, didn't Gabe talk about it? He said he thinks it'll go up to 140 by the time, Saturday rolls around and then the game day Sunday. So I would bet that right now. And, with that defense of theirs, I'm not guaranteeing anything with Saquon Barkley. I know everyone thinks he's going to rush for 250 yards. I'm not buying that. I mean, that's why it had numbers at 115 or whatever. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be, tough sledding, as they say, against Kansas City. If you don't think Spagnuolo and Andy Reid have something, dialed up to stop this guy, it's real simple. If you want to beat them, shut him down, and you're 75% shot to win the game. Shut him down, take away their running game, and I think they're very beatable. But if he can run the ball, and if he runs the ball, then their passing game opens up like a sieve. And I think if he just had to pass, I think Kansas City would give Hurts problems. Fair enough?
Fair enough indeed. Purple has been climbing the board for the Gatorade color. That's because the Chiefs have dumped the purple Gatorade on Andy Reid each of the last 2 years, plus 225 for Gatorade.
It's got to go right back to that gold. Kansas City's yellow, they're gold. You got to go back to the gold. So that would be what? I think that's orange. I think it's orange. I don't have a gold, and then lemon lime is not yellow. The orange looks like their color.
Orange, be where it's at. So, and the Eagles use the lime on Sirianni for the NFC title game.
The lemon lime.
Lemon lime's been getting some gas as well.
I had a couple of those today, Gatorade. As a matter of fact, already.
There you go. No change from yesterday.
I got one going right now on ice. I got a lemon lime rocking right now.
Willie's got it going too. He's got the orange, actually, Willie.
Oh, I
He's working
love
on
the
out
orange
there.
and the grape and the lemon lime. You know, the red I don't like. The red, the punch, the red fruit punch, it leaves your tongue red. It's a problem. They got to
Yeah,
get somebody to develop it where I don't end up with a red tongue. Can we work on that?
1.5 and 48.5 as we hit the weekend for next week. So no change there. The AFC and NFC have both won exactly 29 Super Bowls heading into Super Bowl 59. Split down the middle. Somebody gets number 30.
Kansas City never loses.
Kansas City never loses. Remember that. They never lose. You mentioned Troy Aikman before. Of course, he took a lot of heat for how he called out the refs during that Chief-Texan game a couple of weeks ago, divisional round on Saturday.
He was right.
He was right, and he's right about this too. He says the NFL owes it to the fans who gamble to make sure that the refs get the calls right. We love Troy now. He's even sticking up for us. He wants to make sure all the slips go in properly, and nobody gets screwed at the end of the day. Good for Troy.
Well, I mean, let's get real for a second here. The NFL is partners with all kinds of sports books and betting partners, and then their refs can't get their head out of their ass. I mean, let's face facts. They're awful. The games are called, in my opinion, horribly. I mean, they really are. It gets worse by the game. And so I am not going to sit here and buy into this. We have the greatest refs in the world, bullshack. I'm not buying it. I agree with him. They got to get it right for the bettors, but they don't. They don't get it right for the bettors. Watching them screw the Bills on that veered off ref spot on that fourth down, that's not getting it right. Not only that, they went to review it and they still screwed them. That's called shafting and stiffing them 6 ways till Sunday. So what they do is they screw it up and then they don't fix it. That's exactly who they are. And they don't care about bettors. What they care about is that they make all that money off the betting companies. That's what they care about, that they're getting that revenue, the millions that they make off the betting partners, but they don't care about you betting. In fact, they think all of you have betting problems, and they want nothing to do with you.